The Dearborn Independent, September 3rd, 1927, Volume 27, Number 46. Mr. Ford's page of the Dearborn Independent, in the face of difficulties. One should not turn aside by difficulties from the pursuit of some legitimate object. A thing would not be worth pursuing at all if the road were open and easy. When one does not attain the object in view, the world may call it failure. But some of the greatest discoveries recorded in the history have followed closely on the heels of failure. In an unsuccessful search for one thing and another, of far more value is sometimes found. The joy of adventure comes to those who tread unknown paths, and this desire to open up and explore fresh avenues of discovery has proved an incentive to men of enterprise since the beginning of time. To tackle difficulties with zest and vigor is to set out on an adventure which may not have the results hoped for, but which will have its compensations in an additional experience gained and the joy that accompanies healthy effort. Difficulties should not dismay men or women from possess healthy minds and bodies and who are in the full possession of all the faculties. Every fresh difficulty is but another gateway to opportunity, a chance to accomplishing something in which others have failed. Not only this, it affords the prospect of performing some service which will be of lasting benefit to one's fellow men. Besides, when you have set out to solve some problem, you never know what discovery you may stumble across in the course of your search. The joy of adventure has proved an incentive to men of enterprise since the beginning of time, and some of the greatest discoveries have been made while searching for something else that was never found. Columbus set out to find the Indies and discovered America. The Philippines was stumbled across by Magellan after he had sailed through the strait which bear his name, and Arctic explorers looking for the Northwest Passage were the first to realize the possibilities, both agricultural and mineral, of the north half of North America. It has been the same way in the region of science. In medieval times, chemists were spending much time and effort in search of what was called the elixir of life, which was to make man live forever, when they made some of the discoveries that are now part and parcel of the physician's equipment. The search for the philosopher's stone, which was to have the power of turning lead into gold and similar feats, had similar results. Were there no difficulties in life, there would be nothing to be won and no credit to be gained. Were the avenues to success too easy, the path would scarcely be worth exploring. Besides, so many would be traveling it that it would not be worth while. People are fond of talking about the joy of life, of enjoying themselves, of having a good time. They run after excitement and pleasure, and the more they get it, the less they're satisfied. They work harder in finding how things ought not to be done than in seeking a way to do them right. It is just an exciting to follow up difficulty in search of a way out as it is to run after a so-called pleasure with the idea of taking part in it. When people talk of enjoying themselves, of having a good time, they themselves scarcely know what they mean. Enjoying themselves is something another name for hard work that is entirely profitless. And having a good time is often in reality having a very bad time. And tackling difficulties, a man has to be sure that he is not wasting his energies in chasing a shadow. After years of research, a man may think that he has made discovery, that the fact is that he has merely come to the end of his line of thought and arrived at a conclusion that others have reached many years before. Men tackle financial problems. They're in search of a formula which will not only straighten out the finances of the country in which they live, but which will solve all the money problem of the world at large. Here, there, and everywhere are men who have occupied their spare hours with the greatest subject of money. Farmers, storekeepers, mechanics, editors collectively roll up a mass of research and speculative literature on the subject. But the only remarkable thing about the majority of these financial cure-all is that they are not new. They are not discoveries at all. Other financial experts have already traveled along the same lines and arrived at the same conclusions. Other futile discoveries are made. The Department of Washington, which deals with patents, is cluttered with models and plans of discoveries that have never been put on the market and never will be. But at the same time, these futile inventions represent ideas, and these ideas may someday lead to others that can be put in practical use. Take flying, for example. Men have thought of navigating the air from scriptural times, and efforts to do so are recorded in Greek myths. Failure followed failure all through the centuries, and it is only in our own time that discoveries have been made which have made aerial transportation possible. We see from this that in the pursuit of some definite object, it may take thousands of years before all difficulties are overcome, but this does not mean that the vigor with which they are pursued should be the least diminished.